Scrappers, here is Claudia from ScrapFromStash, and I'm here today to share with you guys another layout for Color Rush Studio. At this time I'm using the August kit. It's called Everyday Joy, and it's featuring a lot of the collection from Pink Fresh Studio called Ordinary Joys. I love this collection and the patterns and colors and everything, and how well Color Rush Studio combine and match embellishments and other things to create this kit. So since I opened my design team member box, I was super inspired by this paper with the circles, and I decided to create a layout using it. My first idea was using for the layout from past week, that was the sketch challenge, but during the process I was, going to go away from the sketch, so I decided to create another layout using the circles and go with my original idea, that was to make this big cluster with the circles and overlap them to create some like dimension and the fun look with the circles. And I really love it. And here I'm playing with them after fussy cut the ones that I'm going to use, and of course I have to distress the edges. But then here I am playing with them and figure out the color scheme that I want to use it, and also how I want to replace them on my page. And I overlap them to hide the spots with where they are not complete. And then I thought it was like pretty nice that the dimension and everything. I really like the position they got on my layout. And then the bottom ones, I just used the glue to glue them on my page. And then the top ones, I used a little foam to create some dimension. I'm using those stuff just to give some weight on the paper and help them to glue faster on my page. Because they were kind of like stubborn, they don't want to glue down. I was like, oh my god, I already put glue on you, why you're not gluing? And then the annoying part, sometimes during this layout I changed my idea and then the embellishment was already glued, so like I need to go around the mistake or the paper was ripped or the glue marks and stuff like that. But then on the end I was able to fix everything. And then here on the top I'm going to create a little cluster just with the half circles that I have, and to create another fun cluster on the top. I really like this little one, and then I'm going to add some embellishments to that top too. It was nice. These pictures was the pictures that I'm going to use for this layout. I was going to debate with like little ones, with my boy wearing a black shirt, because my first idea was to use a bunch of pictures. Here they are. Use a bunch of pictures and tuck them on under the circles and make like them like kind of stuck on the circles. But then it wasn't make me happy. And then when I see these pictures with my boy on the bike, I thought it was perfect because the colors is matching, but also the circles reminds me the bicycle wheels. So I thought it was a perfect photo for this layout. But then the photo is kind of like a little big for what I want to do, my idea. So see, I was trying to tuck them on the circles how I wanted to do, my original idea, and then wasn't make me happy. So I decided to cut my picture in circles as well to be on the middle of those circles. And I thought it was pretty cool idea. And especially because my photo, like, you know, like I'm not missing any important thing cutting my photo around. So you can see my boy on the bike and everything. I thought was a perfect idea to solve my problem. And then off the camera, I just glue my photo on the white cardstock to create a little mat for my pictures. And here I'm looking now on the kit what I'm going to use to embellish this design. I love that little arrow that says this is my favorite, and then was orange, was perfect because my boy's bike is blue and orange. And then these little flares was perfect too, to be on the middle of the circles. I think these cozy vibes, I'm going to take it out later because that is more for me, that cozy vibes is more for like an inside picture or when you're relaxing or something like that. I'm using the wood veneer arrow for the other picture, and then that like the location dot, and then now I'm working to embellishment the cluster on the top. I cut that little tag, the little heart tag, and then to, you know, just to separate the tag on the cluster, because I'm going to use the one with the white spots to be my journaling place. And I love that little heart too, so that little you know, stuffy puffy heart was super cute. I'm going to use on my layout too. I'm going to move around that heart in a little bit, you know, because this layout I move around of my embellishments, and that's why I said, like, sometimes when I decided to move around, then the embellishment was glued and I need to fix the mistake that like ripped paper or glue marks and things like that. But then on the end I was able to fix everything and manage, and I really like the layout on the end. I had the idea to tie a little bow on the side over there. I like the idea, but I don't like the result, if it makes sense. So I'm probably going to have that use that idea on the other layout. I tried to do a bow with that beautiful checkered frazzle, and I love that the pattern on that frazzle, but wasn't working for me, and I thought I was making like the circles and stuff are too busy, you know. The circles already have a pattern, so I will change the idea again later. I cut a little like stripe on that blue frazzle just to give a detail on that tag on my little cluster up there, and I thought it was super cute. And of course I need to use the little threads. Now I'm looking what else I can add. And I want to hide the connection on the circles there, so I decided to add another little circle there, and I think it was perfect, you know, that little green circle over there. I look on my kit again if I had something that I can fussy cut on my kit, but I really like the embellishments on that kit, and I think the the embellishments was making a great job because I was everything kind of like circle and stuff, and I didn't need to fussy cut anything. I really like the heart that I add on the top, and I think it's super cute how that cluster, the finish looking of that cluster on the top. Here I'm going to use that U as part of my title, and I really like the little circles embellishment. I have glue on my hand over there that says out and about. I really like that one, but I didn't want to add another like circle, so I decided to use that phrase as my title, you know, you out and about, because we were about to go for a bike ride on those pictures. And he was so cute, so I decided to take those pictures. And it's exactly what I said, that right before our bike ride on my journaling spot. And then I'm going to add that little thread nest over there, because I really think that like finishing up that cluster. And you know, I thought about like a stage around this layout, but then later on I thought the stitching will be like too busy. The pattern paper for my background is is already busy design, so I didn't fussy cut, but I'm going to trace a line around my layout just to give a finish looking. And then here I'm just to add my thread around my layout. I normally use always like 3 spots with my threads. So I add by the cluster over there, another one by the orange arrow, and one by the title. I think was perfect. And here it comes my line around to give like a finish to my layout. I love it. I just like do by hand, and I thought it was perfect. Look guys, here now it's my close-up photos. I really like I inspire you today. If you guys decided to get your hands on Color Rush Studio Kit, don't forget I have a discount code that I add on the very beginning of this video, and I also going to add on the description. And thank you so much for watching guys, and I hope I can see you guys on my next video right here. Thank you so much, and bye bye.
Scrap from the stash.